Right at it. Right at it. Oh, he's done it again. Just as he did at the John Deere for his first win.
Welcome to episode 93 of the Go Get That podcast. Elephant in the room again. Dan not able to join us. Probably good because that'll mean probably a little bit less negativity in this episode. Although I'm sure Bob
bad for the viewers,
negative.
Losing our most attractive member, but it's all right.
I know, yeah, but we're here to recap the U.S. Open. Elephant in the room. Guess we'll get right to it. Missed cut for Jordan Spieth, so Bob and I had 2 days off. I'm like a certain tracker who adopted a different player for Sunday. Kudos to him.
Yes.
Kudos
Well,
to him.
half of Sunday.
He gave up fairly early, but
shout out to him. He knows who he is.
He knows who he is.
Yeah. This was a concerning week as a Jay Spieth fan. You said less negativity, but I'm going to start the episode by saying that this week confirms something that we've been trying to deny for a while, and that is that Jordan Spieth is very far off, I believe, from being a major winner anytime soon. I think he is. The swing has once again not showed up in a big tournament. The putter has once again not showed up in a big tournament. The game in a total has once again not shown up in a big tournament. It's concerning. This is the first week that I've heard the fire Cam comments come back, and I don't necessarily disagree. I think that he should have been gone 3 years ago. I was the first one to say that when he had his resurgence, that I don't think Cam is all to give credit to for that. So I think that not necessarily a bad time for a switch, and I mean a major switch.
Wow.
This is year number, I believe, 6. It's been 22 major championships since Jordan Spieth has last won. I believe a big change would be good. Whether that's getting rid of Cam, nice. Whether that's changing caddies, I would not like to see that, but I would like something big to change, because I think that for the last few years, he has been doing the same thing. And when he did change and get a new voice from Mr. Harmon, it quickly showed in his game. I'm not saying he needs to go back to Mr. Harmon, maybe not go back full time. I'm just saying that I think a big change needs to happen. He is nowhere near being a major winner right now, and that is very, very unfortunate because he is running out of time. Like it or not, Jordan Spieth is 29. He probably has 12 or 13 legitimate years of real contention. I believe that there will be, obviously, he might have a chance or two in his late 40s, maybe he can pull a Mickelson and win the 2051 LA Open at LACC. But yeah, concern all around for Mr. Spieth. Jordan said this in the chat. We have 5 tournaments left this year. We are 5 tournaments away from a complete disaster of a year. So, yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. It is something that is really frustrating to us. I'm sure it's very frustrating to him. You could tell he was very visibly frustrated this week. And it's just unfortunate because, again, these are the prime years of his life, prime years of his game. And he hasn't been in the contention in a major in 7 majors. So it's unfortunate. It is concerning. I would like to see a big change. We are still in a full putting recession. Yeah, it's just bad, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I didn't think we were going there with the major change. I mean, it's crazy how the tone has switched from just a couple months ago.
I've been consistent with this though. Like when he tee forward or whatever at the Memorial, I was not saying this was a great step in the right direction.
I'm
I did
talking like
not.
going back to the Valspar though, and like how
I mean, but like,
progressing and
I don't know, man.
it's all right. I'm just
He's
throwing it
just,
out there.
I guess in the tournaments, yes, he has had some good showings this year, but for me, it's all about majors, man.
Yeah.
He just hasn't shown up at a major in a long time. So,
No doubt.
yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, let's see the words that come to mind to describe this week: pathetic, embarrassing, sad. I said it on the preview podcast, like the way he drove it at Memorial and PGA, and then he shows up this week with the funky ass, excuse my language, but the funky ass, pre-shot routine again. Like, where the hell is that coming from, man? Like, you drive it like incredibly well at two big ballparks, and you come in here and you just have zero control off the tee. Like, where the heck is that coming from? And I don't know if I agree with the whole major change, but I do think an addition is needed. I'm fine with Cam. I don't think Cam's the issue. I would like to see him bring in someone for putting specifically, though. I mean, he continues to just throw away majors because he doesn't make anything. And I get he putted well Friday, but I mean that's still not. I mean, he missed 2 4-footers on Thursday. You cannot do that.
No,
And it's
you can't.
embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing, and it's a reoccurring theme in nearly every major. He doesn't putt well in majors. It's simple. I mean, he putted well at Augusta, T Ford, but before Augusta, when's the last time he's really putted well at a major? What?
I agree.
The Open 21, he 2 there. So it's a consistent theme with Jordan. If he putts well in a major, he usually plays well. But the problem is he's barely ever putting well.
Yeah. Besides Jordan overall, I'd say decent week, decent leaderboard, not a good course, but I like the leaderboard. I think Wyndham Clark winning was really cool. Again, we've talked about how no name major winners or whatever, but like no name is I don't know if I'd go there with Wyndham Clark because Wyndham Clark has been a top 10 golfer in the world the last 6 months. So I think that Data Golf had him at 10 in the world, right?
Yeah, 10, 12, something like that. I mean, he might be a no name to the casual.
He might be a no name to the casual golfer, but he's been playing some unreal golf. I understand that people are like, well, you can't go from your best finish being a T75 to a win, but you can. And he played the best this week. It's that simple. I understand that he lost strokes gain approach, but it's not like that's something that he's been doing all year. His rise and approach has been very impressive, and he showed up with all the other areas of his game this week. Another disappointing Sunday for Mr. McIlroy with the putter. Can't say I was rooting for Mr. McIlroy, but again, he definitely exceeded my expectations of him this week. I did bet him to miss the cut and shoot an over par score in round 1. So thanks for that. But overall, I thought that the course was just very, it just didn't.
It was bland.
It was bland. And I know the Barrancas was cool, and I'd love to see a Barranca at another course that's not this. I just don't think the holes were very good. I think that the 6th hole was pretty cool. I think that, but even like the 300-yard par 3s, I didn't love that much. Like they were hard, but for me, it has nothing to do with the scoring. The scoring was fine the last 3 days. I don't think that it was that bad. I just didn't like the course. It's that simple. And I think that the atmosphere is embarrassing. I don't know how the USG even let LACC buy out all those tickets. They shouldn't be allowed to have an open if they're going to do that, right? Yeah. So I know money talks. I'm sure they paid double for those tickets, but I it was embarrassing. It wasn't loud. There were no roars. I mean, it did not have the feel of a. Actually, I wouldn't say that. I guess it kind of felt like a major down the stretch, because everyone was really locked in their TV. It was a close finish, but again, just there were some cool aspects to the week. I think the room for error was pretty cool. There was very thin line between a good shot and a bad shot, right? If you were missing, you were missing bad, as Mr. J Spieth did all week. So it was cool from that area. I thought the rough around the greens was pretty cool. Seeing people whiff was kind of sick. But other than that, it was just a bland course, man. Luckily, we have a good stretch of U.S. Opens coming up, I believe. Don't we have, what, Pinehurst, Oakmont, the Cock, all next 3 years, right?
Yeah, I think that's the lineup.
Pinehurst 24, Oakmont 25, Cock 26. I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some great venues for Spieth there.
Yeah, I would say that we're not really looking at U.S. Opens in the next few years.
Not after this year. I mean,
However, man, I mean, the top players in the world should be able to contend in any major. So hopefully in 3 years, Jordan Spieth is back to that level, right? So yeah, the thing that amazed me this week was it is once again just how good Scotty is. He every time I looked, it seemed like he was making a mistake, and he finished like T3. Just
what
like
he does.
he's just so good. So, I mean, obviously that break on the 7th was one of the funnier things I saw all week. He was behind a tree and he got a free drop, but I don't know if you saw that, Jordan, but
I saw it on Twitter. I wasn't watching at the time.
oh, if you were watching it, because I went to Twitter and I was like, oh, Jordan's gonna have a field day with this one. Yeah, because he was literally on the. They panned away from the guy who was hitting the previous shot, and they panned to him behind a tree, and they were like, "Well, this is a huge break for Scheffler." And I was like,
he tends to get a few.
But still, he's so good.
Yeah.
McIlroy in contention was nice change of events. Ricky in contention was really cool.
A real change of events there.
That was really cool. He played really good golf the first 3 days. Again, man, that third day kind of had me sick, and I'm not even a Ricky fan. I mean, all he needed was even par, and he would have been in the playoff. So, again, even par is a tough ask, but still, I mean, come on. 75 on Sunday after playing that way, just stinks. But you kind of had that feeling once he missed that putt on Saturday. So, but it is what it is. Overall, happy to move on. Not definitely a very forgettable major. Won't remember that one in 20 years.
No.
So yeah, we're moving on to Liverpool, which will be a really cool course. I'm really excited for that. And Travelers this week, which Spieth is not playing, unfortunately, as I'll be there Thursday and Sunday. If anyone's going to be there, sure say hi.
You gonna follow anyone?
Depends what I wager.
All right,
we haven't decided who. Maybe some morning 3 balls. Follow a group. So we'll see. But I really hope Mr. Kisner is bettable this week. He was in contention last year. That was very fun to follow. Fortunately, he did not have a great Sunday with the putter. But yeah, it's fun little stretch coming up. We have then. I don't even know what's after that. I just know that the Scottish is in 3 weeks. So
Travelers, Rocket Mortgage, John Deere, Scottish.
Yeah.
So it'll be 3 weeks off for Spieth, barring a surprise.
Yep. So,
which sucks, but I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. The course was disappointing. I expected more coming.
Yeah,
in.
I had high hopes coming into it.
Yeah, the fairways. It's crazy because like the rough was very penalizing. Like it wasn't your typical northeast, rough where it's like super thick. That Bermuda was nasty. I mean, we saw it with Spieth. Spieth never lays up from the rough if he can. I mean, he laid up on 2 with the Barranca short. I mean, he was chunking it out of there. The rough was really cool. The problem was the fairways were just super wide. I mean, Wyndham tried so hard to miss 18 fairway on Sunday. He tried very, very hard, failed. They're coming back here. I don't really know if they can go back on that. I assume they probably could, but
I feel like they definitely have a nice little out, given that people were complaining about the atmosphere. Like, that's just something that can't happen, right? You can be like, listen, you made your mistake when you. It doesn't even seem like the members want it.
Like, I mean, maybe some of them do and some of them didn't. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
yeah,
I think if they do come back, hopefully no marine layer. Tough ask, but no, if they could push. I saw someone on Twitter say this. If they push the fairways in, made the fairways a little bit narrower, I think it'd be a little bit more entertaining of a watch. The fairways are just super wide, and in a U.S. Open, like, that's what it's known for, the fairways being narrow. And I just think that took away a little bit from the course because everyone's hitting fairways. It limits like how creative you can get with your approach shots because you're not playing from the rough. You're not trying to play the angles to make a 4. But yeah, I think my heart is always going to be with the Northeast, U.S. Open venues. Pinehurst isn't one of those, but Shinnecock and Oakmont are. So as you said, I mean, 3 just great venues coming up. I'm done for Spieth purposes. I am done. Going forward, I will expect nothing at U.S. Opens. I'm just accepting the fact that he stinks at them at this point. I mean, we were bullish coming in at this venue compared to most U.S. Open venues, and it went awfully. He's played in 12 U.S. Opens, and he's got 1 top 10, that being a win. So I'm done. I have no faith anymore. So if he doesn't, which stinks, and that's the problem with Spieth right now, is you should not say that at a major. Like even Rory hasn't won one in 9 years, but Rory can play in all 4 of them. Spieth can't do that. That's a big difference in my mind.
Right. In terms of Spieth at U.S. Opens, it's just a reoccurring disappointment. Honestly, I think his most impressive finish at a U.S. Open besides Chambers was his one at Torrey.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, we were all expecting a flight home on Friday evening, given how he plays that golf course. So, yeah, it's not good, man. It's
a yearly disaster.
The top players in the world should be able to top 20 when they're playing well at any event.
Yeah.
So it's disappointing. But again, I demand him to look good at the Scottish. He has 3 weeks and no excuses, right? Like, he was verbally frustrated. It's clear that he cares.
Oh yeah.
So let's see some improvement, right? It's gotta come. It's gotta come now. We're running out of time. I need to.
The clock's ticking. Yeah.
The clock is ticking. Again, winning a tournament a year should be the bare minimum. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, he was obviously verbally frustrated. He had the F-bomb, which was entertaining.
That was jokes.
But yeah, it sucked because I mean, he played. I didn't get to watch most Memorial, but he T5'd. Did he leave a ton of shots out there? Yes, but he still T5, so he played some decent golf at Jack's place, took a week off, and you're thinking, all right, this place on paper fits him more than most U.S. Open venues, and then he comes out and shoots 72 on Thursday and 10 back, the usual at a major. So it would be nice if Jordan Spieth just for once could shoot in the 60s at a major. That'd be a nice change of pace, but he's got one more chance to do that this year.
Liverpool.
Yeah, which should be.
We'll figure it out.
Fun. Hopefully he'll figure it out. That'd be nice.
But yeah, in terms of looking ahead, 5 tournaments left this year. I believe Dan will be back for the Scottish previews, so we have a few weeks off. Yeah. So
I think what else I have. Trying to think of something to talk about here. We didn't talk about Azinger's performance.
That was a tough look, but an entertaining look. He tripled down on the Wyndham call, which was very entertaining. not only did he say that he wouldn't be able to get the shot inside of 10 feet, he then said that it would not get closer 3 times as it continued to get closer. So, yeah, that was a tough performance. He might be losing it a bit up there, some would say. Getting a little old.
It was a tough week. Oh, Wyndham's club twirl on Saturday. Did you see that?
I don't think I did.
Oh my God, he had the sauciest club twirl on 18. You have to look it up on Twitter.
I'll look it up right now.
Crazy club twirl. He stuffed
Better
it,
than Sam Bennett's last year?
Oh, very similar. Very similar.
Really? Because that was
Thinking about Spieth. What else do I got on Spieth?
Oh, that is sexy.
Yeah,
Wow. That's chill. Wasn't that for par too?
No, it's for birdie to get into the final group, which paid dividends, obviously. He doesn't make that. He doesn't birdie 18. He's not in the final group, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got. I mean, we could talk about Spieth, but I mean, it's all negative. It was disappointing. Drove it off.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to go for too much longer. I'm just thinking like,
but you mean it when you say you want a coaching switch. You mean that.
I there have been 2 instances I've looked back. I cannot remember a time where a player left the coach and has negatively impacted them.
That's a very interesting point.
Spieth got a look from Butch. Obviously, that helped. I mean, Ricky leaving Tillery clearly helped immediately. Spieth said himself, like another change of pace, a change of eyes, a new set of eyes. It helps. So
that's fair. I see.
Yes, I do mean it. So
it's fine. I mean,
I think that is the step that needs to be taken at some point.
See, I mean, our friend Ryan thinks it's. I don't know, because we have a friend Ryan who we talk a lot of golf with, and he thinks that Spieth's ball striking in majors is what cost him. I completely disagree. I know you kind of agree with it. I think it's all the putter. I think it's all the putter. I think he continuously cannot putt in majors, and if you look at the ball striking numbers, they're usually pretty good. They weren't good this week. That's what I'm trying to get across. They weren't good this week, but typically in majors, he hits it well enough, and he doesn't make anything. I mean, we can look at the PGA last year. We can look at the 2021 Masters. I don't know why his magic wand of 2019 has just went so downhill, especially in the majors. You only get 4 of them every year. So, like, he putted better March through April, but you got 4 chances of these. And you essentially take, every time you putt poorly, that's 1 down the tubes. He putted well at the Masters, had what he said, the bad 9 holes on frickin' Saturday. They putted awfully at the PGA, putted awfully here. If you putt off on a major, you can't win. So,
Correct.
Yeah, I'd love to see a putting coach, someone to help him, because I think a lot of it's mental. I mean, the 4-footers looks pretty darn mental to me. Maybe a little bit of technical in there too with pulling them, but I would like him to get a new perspective on the putter. That's kind of where I stand, because he's just putting away tournaments way too frequently.
Yeah. I think the big theme is that we'd like to see a change in some area. So
22 straight majors is a loser, so that kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, again, golf is about majors. Golf is not about winning the Travelers Championship, unfortunately. So, yeah.
It's elevated, though.
Yeah, it is elevated. Good field for me this week. Besides Mr. Spieth.
It's pretty much everyone except Spieth.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's all I got.
That's all I got. 3 weeks off for us. 3 weeks off for Spieth to get his shit into gear ahead of, Scottish Open stretch that should be 2 weeks of contention, but I guess he'll be the person who either makes that happen or doesn't. So
Agree.
we'll be back in 3 weeks. Dan,
Well,
I think Dan will be back in the States.
yeah,
so
I
it'll be
think
for
Dan is
us.
back at the end of June. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
we'll be back in 3 weeks. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Take care.
peace.